Hello and welcome to iHeart Reading. Damn it, I'm your host, Jen Johnson, and today I will be reviewing the book Dark Matter by Blake Crouch. This book received 4.1 stars on Goodreads. I give it a 4.5. It was a fantabulous suspense on the edge of your seat. It's a combination of a lot of things. It's fast-paced. It's a combination of sci-fi, love story, thriller, suspense, little science all thrown into the mix, jumbled around, stirred up in the pot, and served out on a platter for you to digest and say, good, I like that. What is this book about, and should you read it? You should read it. I give it a 4.5, so I highly enjoyed it. Looks like most of the folks on Goodreads really enjoyed it as well. What is it about? It is about this man named Jason, who is a family man. He is a physicist, and he teaches at a local college. His wife was an artist. She's still an artist of sorts, but now she kind of just tutors people in art. They have a teenage son, and he kind of has this beautiful life. And that life sort of gets stolen from him, essentially, is what happens. He is kidnapped or abducted, but not in like a disgusting kind of way, so don't put that in your head. But he gets abducted, and this person takes him to a warehouse, injects him with some sort of serum with a syringe, and he wakes up in this laboratory, and everyone knows him, but he doesn't know them. And they are curious where he has been for the last 14 months. He's been, at least on their side, missing, and he doesn't know these people. And then as he is going through this space, he discovers that his family is not what he knew. And so then it's a question of, how does he get back to his family? And where the hell is he? And what the fuck is happening, basically. So then you just, from the very start, from page 1, you get drawn into this book. If I could use one word to describe it, I would say it is gripping. Yeah. And so, to set the stage from page 1, it grabs you and it pulls you in. But from that first page, it gives you an idea of what his life is like and what is about to be taken from him, and how often are things taken from us. And how often do we not recognize what a beautiful thing we have until it's gone? And I think that's a big part of this book. Another big part of this book is fate and moments, and really holding on and really cherishing your moments and really appreciating the life that you have. I finished this book in like 2.5 days, I think. I got it, and I basically just blinked and I ingested it. It was great. I wanted to know what happened next. This book gets you thinking, which I really, really like. I probably guessed 4 different scenarios, and out of those 4 scenarios, maybe I guessed one of those things right. That doesn't ever happen. I'm always one step ahead of a book or a movie or a TV show. I always know what's going to happen. So in this book, several times I thought I knew it was happening, and then it turns out I didn't. I think it was like page 93 or something. And I was like, oh, I got it. I know what's happening. And it turns out I was wrong. And I like being wrong in those situations. It's fun. It's fun to not know and to go along on the journey, which is exciting. It's not every day that a book or a piece of art surprises me like that. So kudos, Mr. Crouch, kudos. What's funny about this book, or one of the things that's funny about this book, is that it's called Dark Matter. And before this book, I was reading The Book of Dust. And The Book of Dust is the prequel to the His Dark Materials series, of which The Golden Compass is a piece. And what's funny about that is when I kept talking about that in the last podcast, you may have heard this, I misspoke at least once and called it Dark Matter, because dark matter in my mind is a thing, and dark materials is something that doesn't really make sense in my brain. So it's just kind of crazy that I kept saying dark matter or wanting to say dark matter when I was talking about that podcast. And then it comes up in this podcast. It's the title of this book. And then actually it kind of comes up in the podcast that I'm reviewing next, or in the book that I'm reviewing next, which is The Humans. There's a whole chapter called Dark Matter. So that really got me thinking. What is there something the universe wants me to know about dark matter? And then in the Dark Matter book, in this book, and in the Humans book by Matt Haig, which is great. Once I recognized that they both were talking about dark matter, I also recognized that they both brought up Thelonious Monk, which got me thinking, is dark matter somehow symbolic or akin to jazz? You know, how there's like when you're just playing it, there's no pattern. It just kind of gets made up moment to moment and is that moment and is infused by the moment. Is that what dark matter is? I don't know, but it got me thinking about that. Oh, I would say also this book is about the idea of exploring roads untaken, especially when it comes to regrets. If we've lived a full life, there's at least one regret that we have, that maybe we think of from time to time, one major thing that kind of stands out that you wonder how it might have been different if you'd stepped left instead of right. And this book definitely explores that. And then inside of that, also recognizing that your life is what it is because of your choices, because of your regrets, because of your mistakes. Every action that we take and ever will take is because of our choices, even if those seem like mistakes in the moment, which is a really powerful thing. It's imperfect. It's fucked up. And it's uniquely us. You know, it's uniquely me. It's uniquely you. Or is it? And that's what the book kind of questions. Are you uniquely you? We'll see. Touches on that a bit. Okay, so to kind of set the stage, I'm going to read from page 1 to kind of let you know how this starts, how it kicks off. All right, quote, "Standing happily in my kitchen, I'm unaware that tonight is the end of all of this, the end of everything I know, everything I love, period," unquote. Continued on page 5, "I lift my arm, raise my thumb, I don't look back, I don't say goodbye, and this moment slips past unnoticed. The end of everything I know, everything I love, period," unquote. And isn't that just life? To not recognize what you have until it's gone, until you lose it. And if you're lucky to recognize that you did lose it, and you are lucky enough to get something akin to that back, to hold on to it with both hands, because it's something special. Okay, so was there any mention of dust or books in this book? I can't remember that there was. Nothing sticks out in my head about those two things. But the jazz is what caught me. Thelonious Monk and dark matter. So I Googled both of those things. I listened to some Thelonious Monk, and I have to say I really liked it. I liked it a lot. If you haven't checked it out, you probably have. I feel like I'm late in coming to this gravy train. But if you haven't checked it out, check it out. Some really awesome, epic songs. That is jazz and is this particular human. What else? Okay, so I guess that's it. I recommend the book. I think you should check it out. If you like pretty much all the things wrapped up into one and thinking a little bit, but not too hard. Like, there is definitely science in this, but it's not something that you have to be like, oh, how does that work? I'm not a science person. I'm not a math person. I didn't once go, how does that work? No, it flows really easy. So read it is the key. Just read it. It's good. I think you'll like it. The reason for the 4.5, I liked it. In order to get a 5, you have to blow me out of the water. And it also has to be a book I want to read again. So I really did like this book a lot. It didn't blow me out of the water, but it was fun. And if it wasn't for the fact that there's a little bit of a mystery wrapped up into it as well, a how's this going to happen part, then I probably would read it again. So that's a good damn book if you want to read it again. So check it out, you guys. I think you're going to like it. Okay. Thanks for listening to I Heart Reading. Damn it. Again, I am your host, Jen Johnson. If you would like to follow or subscribe to the podcast, that would be radical. In order to do that, it's pretty easy. You basically just go to iTunes, or on your iPhone, you would go to the podcast app, which is the purple app. On your Android phone, it is the orange play button, and that is Google Play Music, or what is that called? Is that what it's called? What is it called? What is it motherfucking called? I think it's called Google Play Music. For some reason, it's blanking in my head, but that's probably right. There's also Pod. If you don't want to use any of those things, or if you're not sure how, or if you've deleted them, then download an app. You can either download Podbean, you can download Stitcher, you can download Radio Public, and then you can just subscribe to any of those or download them. It's all good. Okay, that's all I got, you guys. If you want to follow us, you can check us out on Instagram. That's it. Peace. Bye.